Support WrestleTalk!
Order the magazine using the link below. The Fashion Files finally returns! Jinder Mahal calls out Brock Lesnar, and I want someone to hug me the way Sami Zayn holds Kevin Owens. I'm Ollie Davis and hold me tight! This is the 17th of October 2017 edition of Smackdown Live in about 4 minutes. Daniel Bryan's hometown crowd were incredibly hot for his opening promo, even when he was just listing the night's uninspiring matches. A Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler rematch? Yes! A 6-woman tag with Lana? Yes! Jinder Mahal in a promo segment? Yes! 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 Bryan then called out SmackDown's newest heel, leading to a fantastic promo from Sami Zayn, saying if only Daniel worked smarter rather than harder in his career, he wouldn't have had to retire as Mr. Bella the housewife. Zayn delivered the lines with just the right amount of smarmy arrogance. Bryan then found some opponents to punch him and Kevin Owens in the face later on. Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura. So Lana's wrestling again. She tapped in Charlotte, Becky, Lynch and Naomi's win against her, Natalya and Tamina. Charlotte and Natalya's feud has a lot of material to work with, so including the entire women's division feels a bit surplus. The Ascension's role in the Fashion Files, however, is anything but. From the jumping the shark gag to their gluten-free burgers, it's a healthy alternative. The two were yet again the segment's standouts, which is saying something considering Breezango's comedic chemistry. They even pointed out 2B quite obviously means the Bludgeon brothers. The rest of Pulp Fashion relied a bit too heavily on the Pulp Fiction parody though, with some lines just being quotes for quote's sake rather than funny. Sin Cara beat Baron Corbin in a couple of minutes by countout, derailing any momentum the Lone Wolf had after his US title win and clean victory over AJ Styles last week, which is terrible booking. Luke Harper and Derek Rowan's second promo was set in a forest, giving their new team a distinctly old Wyatt family feel, which is good. I love the Wyatt family concept, and I want them to still exist as a cross-brand badass cult. But then they called themselves the Bludgeon Brothers, and I remembered they have giant LARPing hammers. Before Jinder Mahal's big announcement, the most promoted segment on this episode, they ran a video package of the modern-day Maharaja in India. Mahal comes across as a genuinely nice guy in these types of clips, and the huge crowds in them make him feel like a big international star. Not a big enough star to believably compete against Brock Lesnar, mind, but he made that challenge anyway. This brought out AJ Styles, who reminded Jinder he hadn't beat the Phenomenal One yet, and then cleared the ring of Mahal and the Singh brothers. Way to make Jinder look like a credible threat for Lesnar SmackDown. Bryan then booked Styles versus Sunil for next week. Continuing their very lackluster feud, Dolph Ziggler beat Bobby Roode by hooking the tights, because 50-50 booking is undermining Roode's character. A backstage skit appeared to set up a feud based mostly on who better uses the word day in their gimmicks, the New Day or Rusev Day. Aiden English and Rusev are very good together, but the Bulgarian brute has the potential for so much more. Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn started in the ring for the main event, neatly calling back to Nakamura's NXT debut. Zayn's character feels rejuvenated with the heel turn, and putting him in a main event match with Nakamura, Owens and Orton, wrestlers that SmackDown have positioned as their top stars, effectively gets him over as now being on their level. It was a subtle piece of fan perception inception, and giving Zayn a pinfall win over Randy, even though it was following a dastardly low blow, makes Sami and his team with KO feel like a credible main event act. A team so credible, they can solve timing issues with the end of your show. Celebrating their win backstage, Bryan revealed that it's not up to him who they'll face next week, it's up to a returning Shane McMahon, which would have been a good cliffhanger if the camera didn't then cut back to an unprepared Orton and Nakamura on the entrance ramp. It appeared as though SmackDown realized they still had 2 more minutes of TV time to fill, so KO and Sami came back out to cut a seemingly improvised heel promo, which they did brilliantly, the two closing the show in embrace, while Owens yelled, "Hug me, hold me tight." This could be better than KO's act with Chris Jericho from last year. So that was this week's SmackDown Live in about 4 minutes. Here's the usual ratings recap from top to bottom. Smack damn, smacktastic, smack bang in the middle, Ellsworthy, and fake-ass hammers. I'll reveal my score very shortly, but first, vote in the poll above my head to give yours. I'll announce the results in tomorrow's WrestleTalk news. SmackDown has truly become the Kevin Owens Show. His and Sami's relationship is the brand's best act and its most intriguing story, but everything else sadly was middling to tedious. And in Baron and Bobby's cases, incredibly frustrating. This week's SmackDown is Ellsworthy. Kevin Owens wasn't happy with his Universal title run, and more WWE stars are rumoured to be quitting the company. Click the videos to the left to learn more, press subscribe, and support WrestleTalk on Patreon. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.